Hey guys, what's up with it? Happy Friday. For some of you it's Saturday, but nonetheless, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are in the world today. March 4th. Got a pretty interesting story that I wanted to bring to my audience, okay? Especially my Mars Anomaly channel. I think this is interesting. And it's especially interesting because it's been a couple of weeks. We had been discussing over here growth, what we have perceived as growth on the red planet. Specifically, we discovered some images over here in the LeakU community, older images that were taken of Curiosity, Spirit Rover as well, in which it appeared there was growth growing on the rovers like an ivy in geometric form. And we went live and we talked about it and we chopped it up. You guys can definitely go back and look in the previous history on the channel. But it was pretty amazing actually to go back and look at these older photos. And that was actually something that we had decided we were going to do. And we were going to spend some extra time on looking at these older photos. And the reason why is because Photoshop was not what it was 5 years ago, 3 years ago even, let alone 10 years ago. And the other thing that's really important is, although we know NASA loves to Photoshop things out, okay, or Photoshop over things, we have found so many instances of NASA Photoshopping, especially the selfie photos that these rovers take, right? And my understanding is they take these selfie photos so that they can look at the tools and, gauge the overall health of the rover. Look at its tires. How do the tires look? How does the solar panels look? That sort of a thing. But what we discovered, especially in the older Curiosity and Spirit rover photos, was growth that seemed to be even growing in between the solar panels, literally wrapping itself around the rover. It looked just like a piece of ivy, the way a piece of ivy grows. Like literally, ivy will grow anywhere. And you don't even really have to take care of it that well, and it will grow. And I find that quite an interesting coincidence that now, all of a sudden, NASA is telling the world that there's possible life on the planet Mars. Now, not only did we discover some growth around these rovers, okay, and it grows in a geometric fashion, we also found, shout out to Art Alien TV, Joe White over there, he published a gigapan titled Fungus. And on this gigapan, what we believe here in the LeakU community, we have an actual painting on the side of one of these so-called rocks. And honestly, it doesn't even look like a rock at all. It's the most oddest looking thing, almost reminds what we believe is some sort of a painting or a drawing in color that seems to show 4, possibly 5 forms of life on Mars. And that was a little over a month ago. But as we started looking, we made it a point to specifically look at these photos in which any part of the rover was in it, especially the older photos. We actually went back and we dug in the older photos. We've been digging through gigapans for weeks, actually looking at the older ones, right? And what we discovered in doing that, and this has been over the last few weeks, was this geometric-like growth all over the rover, every single one of them, even the Perseverance rover. We went from Curiosity to Spirit to, I mean, all of them, okay? We went through the entire list, went and looked at actual images over on nasa.gov, and the growth is also the same on each rover. It's brown, goldish, striped like in some places, and it grows, it duplicates, connects to the duplicate, grows, duplicates, connects, and this just goes on and on and on and on. And God only knows what it is, okay? I don't know what it is, okay? I'm not a scientist, but it definitely appears like some sort of growth. I don't know if maybe just dropping those rovers on Mars produces, the dust that's in the air. Maybe it produces seed and grows, whatever. I kind of liken it to rocks growing, because it's even very interesting when you look at some of these gigapans of the Mars landscape, and these rocks are always in these weird geometric-like positions. And I don't think all of those are actually even rocks, to be honest with you. I've said, is it possible that the rocks on Mars could be alive somehow? And I know that's way out there, right? In fairyland, science fiction fairyland, but seeing that growth on every single one of these rovers, okay, has been absolutely amazing. And then I find it so interesting that on March 1st, 3 days ago, NASA drops an article that stunned the scientific world. Now, I'm not saying any of our stuff had anything to do with that. I just sort of wonder about that coincidence, though. I do. Smaller than a penny, the flower-like rock artifact was imaged by NASA's Curiosity rover using its Mars hand lens imager, the camera that's on the end of its robotic arm. This image was taken, they say, on February 24th, 2022, the 3,396th Martian day, or soul of the mission. This piece of coral flower, okay, whatever you want to call it, smaller than a penny, right? Found in Gale Crater. NASA, of course, gives us this long gobbledygook explanation, right? Mineral composites, and it's a mineral formation. It's like, okay. But we actually, when we went back and looked at those older images of those rovers to see if the growth that we noticed was on all of them, and it is, how long between Sol 1 and subsequent sols did we see this growth? And we've seen some as soon as like the 40th sol on some of these rovers. Now, let me just kind of show you what I'm talking about there. Show you what I'm talking about. We started looking at these images, right, of these rovers. We wanted to look at these selfie images, and we literally started digging, okay, digging through these like nobody's business. And I mean, we started, like I said, Sol 1, 2, 3. I mean, we kept going and going, and every single rover that we looked at, we could tell that not only was growth occurring on these rovers, right? this brown, that's not wires. Okay. That's not NASA's wires. What we noticed is not only is NASA doing Photoshop jobs on these rovers to hide this growth, but they're also, because the growth is geometric in fashion, it's quite easy for them to actually put things, okay, geometrically on these rovers, little, like they'll copy and paste like this, copy and paste tools. Now, what's really funny about the Perseverance rover, I noticed, is they had, of course, a block of wires, right? They try to make it look like it's some sort of part of that makes the rover run, right? But it's interesting how the numbers or the wires that are plugged up changes from photo to photo. One photo, you got 5 plugged up. The next photo, you got 20 of them plugged up. Those are not wires, okay? This growth that I'm talking about, it's brown and it goes all over the rover. It's everywhere, everywhere. Now, let me show you a real nice example of what I'm talking about. Because we found a great example on one of the old rover, or one of the old photos on the rover. And that's what sort of sparked us to keep digging into those older photos, because again, Photoshop was not what it was 5 years ago. And NASA may not have known what they were looking at, right? But say hello to my little friend. We found this image, okay? This was MSL 100. This is on the rover. And we've been displaying this image for a few weeks now. But the thing about this image, this is part of the growth that I'm talking about. Now, I have no idea if it's alive. I can tell you that this same little friend has been in several of these images that have been captured, okay? I was able to go look at previous sols in which it was smaller. And then subsequent sols, I've went and looked, and the ones where they didn't Photoshop it out, it had grown larger. Even to the point that there is I guess you would call it 2-dimensional piece. It's a growth that was most definitely on that Curiosity rover that was so heavy that it plopped forward. And NASA has been diligently Photoshopping the shit out of it, okay? Out of the photos that they released to us. And oh my God, the Photoshopping, it's hold on a second. I'll show you what I'm talking about. There's a great example of what I'm talking about. There was like several sol images of that Curiosity rover. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Of course, I won't be able to. For some reason, Giga Macro search function sucks ass balls. It really does. So I probably... Hold on. Okay. Listen, I'm not gonna run it down right now, but all you got to do is just go look at some of my other content earlier on in this channel. But we've been finding all sorts of very interesting things, not only in the landscape, but on the actual rover itself. So we have been making it a point to really, really study the selfies that has been taken of the rovers. Now, it's very difficult for NASA to even explain this away. This is a photo on their site. under their images, okay? We published this on the 27th of February. Yeah. And we've been on the trail of growth on these rovers since then. Actually, a few weeks before then. And again, you can just go look back on the channel. The videos are there. This our little friend right here with his two eyes. You can actually see one of his pupils. Okay, traced it out. You can see behind it growth, and it's geometric in fashion. I don't know what it is about Mars and things growing geometrically. I don't know why that is. I just discovered the other day that Olympus Mons, the largest volcano in the solar system, is geometrically placed as well. I know that it's not just Olympus Mons there. Okay, there's other volcanoes to the south of that volcano, but they are aligned geometrically, and it's perfect. It's absolutely perfect. And the other thing that sort of made me think there was growth, almost I liken it to a rock ivy or to an ivy plant, the way an ivy plant would grow. This growth wraps around all these rovers. And let me see if I can actually get that MSL number. Hold on a second. There's the growth was always the same on each rover, right? We went and checked several of them. The growth is the same color, same geometric pattern, and it keeps going on and on and on and on. It's on every single one of them. Now, hold on a second. Hold on. All right, let me see if I can find it here, because I most definitely saved photos, right? So all I got to do is go back and get those soul numbers. So give me one momento. Because there's one in particular. Yes. Okay. Hold on. MSL 1781. Hold on. MSL 1781. There we go. Here's just an example of the growth, okay, that I'm talking about. And this is the times when we're able to find it without NASA having photoshopped it out. Now, this is let's see, this is MSL 1781 NavCam, published by Neville Thompson. Sorry about that. This was published last year, okay? But there's a nice little example here. Of the fake ass photoshopping, okay? The growth that I'm talking about, geometric in fashion, and how NASA keeps playing with the people. It grows, like I said, connects, duplicates, grows, connects, duplicates. This is NASA's way of photoshopping the stuff out. It's everywhere. It's on every single rover. As you can see there in the corner there, you tend to see this growth like in the corner areas, And it definitely grows up, and it grows like a geometric, like whatever you want to call it. Maybe it's its version of a leaf or something. I don't know. And then it extends out. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. And there's times when these photos are taken that the growth actually extends out. It hangs off the rover. And you can actually see a lot of examples of this, but NASA has been notoriously blurring them out. But if you're really good, you can actually see what they photoshopped out. You can see where it's been burned out essentially, but you can tell a very blatant photoshopping going on, right? There's growth here. You can see the hands grabbing the wire, right? But where's our little friend? There's growth in here, and there's even growth on the top of this, whatever you want to call it. I don't have the exact word. NASA definitely is photoshopping this on each photo, but there's actually growth all around the rim of this thing. It's all on the top of this thing. There's times when they'll just blur it out, and then there's times it's like they keep copying and pasting the same thing over and over on that. But a lot of these images you'll see that are geometric, like here's another great example. A lot of these images, you know, when they're now copying and pasting things over to try to make it look like it's part of the rover, but it's not. There's growth on, you know, growth here. There's growth it's everywhere. Like it's everywhere. Here's a fine example looking down at some. You can see it duplicates, connects, stretches out its hands almost like an ivy, connects in, then it duplicates all over again. And it just keeps doing this on and on and on. And like I said, it's in the corners of this rover. It's around every single faucet, okay, of these rovers, every single one. We've verified it on everyone. I'm not kidding. Another fine example. And I don't know if these are animals or if it's a version of a plant on Mars. I am sort of tending to believe that it's some form of like growth like you would see with a plant. Because again, the growth is the same from rover to rover. It's brownish in color, golden and striped in some spots. There's a prime example of a lot of photoshopping. You can see where they've actually whited out some of this growth, because there's at times when that growth is facing, you see two eyes and a mouth, okay? So it's really hard to describe and understand and explain, because we don't have anything like that on Earth, but this shit is everywhere, okay? Everywhere. And like I said, it extends off the rover, so they've had to actually, I've seen them even copy and paste sand. Sometimes it seems like at least 6 to 12 inches out from the rover, because it just extends straight out. But there's another example. You can see I guess I call it the arm. It stretches out. Okay. There's some back here. You can see two eyes right there. But a lot of growth here. And I'm covering that up. Trying to anyway, all that Photoshop, and you can see where they've literally whited out over several parts of this image. But again, it's geometric in fashion, and that's why NASA, if you ever wondered why they're always photoshopping around these selfies of these rovers, now you know why. They're trying to hide what's very plainly obvious in these images. like what's very evident, okay? Now, let's see, that's MSL 100 now. Let me bring that up here. MSL 100. Ooh, I just seen the one I was looking for. Hold on. No, never mind. Never mind. Anyway, okay. This is the image I'm talking about. MSL 100. Say hello to my little friend, right? 2 eyes, little feet. But you can see how its arm stretches out, okay? And it grabs the wire. You can actually see the shadow, okay? And it'll grow another piece. And then the arm stretches out on the other side. And it keeps doing this. It just connects all over the rover and reproduces and duplicates. Kind of funny how in one image, how they do the photoshopping like this, right? But we just clearly seen in the previous image that there's definitely something going on up there. Just like here, look at this horrible Photoshop job. Look, look, I didn't even up the 2 spots. And that is because all along this is growth, all along it. So if you want to sort of get an idea, there's actually one image that I have, a very clear-cut example of this growth, actually. Let me get the MSL number for it. And it's actually in color. One of the ones I have is in color. Let me pull this one up here. 4545557. This is the Opportunity rover, actually. And we caught this image on the Opportunity. And I'll show you the growth. You'll get to see like a bigger photo of it, or a bigger example of it right here. This is what's growing on the rovers. And I suspect that NASA didn't know what this was, and that's why they didn't take it out. This was taken years ago. A photo of the Opportunity rover. You know, they're powered by solar panels, and you see this growth growing in between every single crack. And that's why you see so much photoshopping going on. Look at this, a whole missing piece. That's because, again, this growth extends out from the rovers, like it's hanging from the rovers. But this is the geometric growth I'm talking about. You actually see the most smallest piece on the inside here. Almost looks like some little creature looking at you with 2 eyes. And then it duplicates, grows, duplicates, grows, and then it ends up growing into this mess. But if you actually look at this really close, you'll see every single, it's like no matter how you look at it, it's always 2 eyes looking back at you. No matter which way you look at it, geometrically it looks the same. I don't know how to explain that other than to just say it like that. But it duplicates over and over. And in one of the photos, one of the older photos, this here, where you see these 3 nodules, that's most definitely being photoshopped on by now. So we actually have some examples of that as well. But this got so heavy that it plopped forward. And in some of the photos, you can tell the shape of this because of the shadow. They started getting smart and even handling up, trying to Photoshop out the shadows. But like I said, this right here, this geometric growth, I call it rock ivy, whatever the hell it is everywhere on these rovers. It's everywhere. There's no telling. Let's see, this was what? Opportunity 4557. So 4,557 souls. It's gotten pretty big over time, huh? Gotten pretty big over time. That is not part of the rover at all. They've gotten really good at trying to make it look that way. Look how they added a little, almost like a little plumbing wire or something. No. It's the weirdest thing, right? But that is what you're looking for. And the color of it, okay, again, like what's crazy about this is you got our little friend here, right? But I guarantee you somewhere in this growth, you got a piece of growth that looks exactly like this. It's the weirdest shit. I don't know how to explain it. So I'll let you scientists and other smart people figure that one out. I don't know. But I think that, I mean, what if this growth is rock-like? Would it be heavy? Would it possibly weigh the rover down? I just find it interesting that a lot of this has been getting discussed, and all of a sudden they finding, flowers on Mars, growing flowers, except they say it's minerals. I don't know about that. I think there is life on Mars. What kind of life? Who knows? But I know there's some form of, I don't know if that's the version of plants on Mars. I'm sort of suspecting that it is. I'm just saying, when I noticed it on all the rovers, every single one of them has the same color and everything. Yeah, they do. Yep, they do. You can see how we've been looking at a lot of them. NASA can't explain it. Now, I'm trying to find, give me a second. I think that actually might be a good one. McMurdo. I want to show you the color of what this growth looks like, or the color of this growth. Now you'll be able to see what I'm talking about, right? Here's a prime example. Okay, this is why we went back and we started looking at these older photos, because again, Photoshop was not what it was 5 years ago, even 3 years ago. And we were really banging on the fact that maybe NASA wouldn't know what they were even looking at in some of the first photos that were released, right? And I think we got lucky. Now here's a prime example of what I'm talking about, where you can see the shape of this growth right here in the shadow, but look how NASA is photoshopping it out. Now the color of this growth, like I said, it's brown, streaks of brown, streaks of like gold. This is the color I'm referring to right here. This is the growth. This is what it looks like in color. And it's everywhere. It's on every single one of these rovers. We have confirmed it on every single one. There's even growth growing in between the cracks, but here's a prime example here. This is the color of it. And the other thing that has helped us out too is the photoshopping, because the photoshopping over things like, look at this, look at that. It tells us what to look for. And NASA, right, even in this example, blatantly is photoshopping out that growth that extends out from the rover. But this is just a fine example of what I meant when it extends out from the rover. It grows, and it's almost like it hangs out a little ways from the rover. But they blatantly photoshopped over that, huh? But that's what you're looking for. It's brown in color, okay? Little gold streaks in it. And definitely, here's another photoshopping example of them trying to hide that growth. It's like I said, rock ivy, and it's geometric, and it's the same every time. It grows geometric. Pure examples of NASA photoshopping over that stuff. But let me There's one more here I want to find. Yeah, which one is that? 2671. 2671. Okay. Say hello to my little friend. Say hello, hello. Another clear shot. That is the color you're looking for. And you'll see the growth tangled all inside of this rover. Like, then that's what if you could look at a color shot, this is what you're looking for right here. That right there. That is not wires, okay? There's the growth all up and down this. It's almost like the way an ivy would grab on a pole if you stuck a pole in an ivy flower. And you can see even in other shots how photoshopped they really Photoshop over this a lot. But hello, little friend. Hello. How you doing, sir? Nice little close-up, huh? Yeah. We've been on a roll over here, man. We really have. We've been on a damn roll. Let me show you another color example here. And it's on this particular gigapan. Hold on. Because I took screenshots of this stuff and I got to find the exact location on the rover. Hold on. And again, pay attention to the shadows. You'll notice things sticking out where there's nothing above it. Why is there a shadow, right? But yeah, pay attention to that. Where is that at? Hold on a sec. Right here. Right here. Right there. A very clear example. And I think that's all I really want to show right now, I think. I think that's it for now. I mean, I'll definitely come back at another time and we'll discuss it some more, but there's something to geometry. Okay. I don't know what it is, but it's weird because all of these things seem very geometric in nature. So I just find it very fascinating, y'all. Very fascinating. I hope some of these employees that are going through these images will go ahead and let some more leak out, okay? Because it's really the people of the world that's helping find this stuff. Really, it's fascinating, and I think the world can take it, okay? I think that we're big enough. Us people in the world are where we can take it, okay? They got wars, okay, happening and crazy stuff like that going on. I think we could take the fact that there's life on other planets in our solar system, okay? All right, I haven't even looked at these comments, y'all. All right, guys, I'm out of here. I will see y'all next time. Okay. We will be covering, actually, there's been an update. We've been talking about the Orson and Orrin West case in California. There's been an actual update. As you guys know, the adopted parents that actually reported those children missing, they've actually been arrested, charged with murder. Until next time, y'all.